And we back like we never left though.
Sir,
What's up, man?
not much, chilling, bro.
We got a big week coming up, man. We got a lot going on, man. It's
Yeah.
second annual draft party, man. We got to get it rolling, man. So tell us what the let's talk about the draft party first, man, before we go into everything, man.
Okay. So basically, man, we're gonna go into the draft this year, and one of our goals is to just try to bring everybody together, all the Grindhouse parents and athletes, and we go out and we at Yard Dogs, the backyard area of Yard Dogs in Murphy, and we go out and we just hang out. We play games. We do draft. We got to do like a top 10, top 12 draft picks
Mm-hmm.
of the draft. We do games for that. We give out prizes.
Mm-hmm.
We do free autograph signed jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
I did a camp with Xavier Worthy. I want to say about a month or so ago. Um, I got little stuff that we're gonna do there. We got a Super Bowl champion that we're gonna be hitting him to sign the jersey. So we do a lot of fun stuff. We eat, we have fun, we fellowship, just
Mm-hmm.
hang out. It's pretty solid thing that we did last year. We had over 100 of our people come out and participate. Hopefully, it's gonna be bigger this year.
All right, man. What time we starting?
We're gonna start at 6:30. We're gonna go to 6:30 to 10 o'clock.
All right, and if y'all wanna, we'll be there. We'll start the podcast about 6:15. Getting leading up to the drafts, and the draft starts about 6:30, I believe, as well. So we'll be out there. Just enjoying the festivities. Yard Dog, Backyard Murphy. It's 217 FM 544 in Murphy, Texas. So if y'all ain't got nothing to do, you want to just come hang out, come meet the crew, come meet everybody, come talk about training, because we still about the business.
Right.
So you want to come talk about everything that we got going on, man. We want you guys to come out there. So and then we got train. What's the training that
Oh,
we
we
have
got
coming?
training day on April 25th.
So next Saturday.
So next Saturday we're gonna do our training day, April 25th. I think we got like 3 slots open. We got I want to say a 10, 11, and a no, no. We got a 10. No, we got a 10. We got a 1 o'clock, and we got a 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to come out and just do a free session, it's a free session. We're gonna go over skills and agility, speed and agility. We're gonna do some conditioning, strength and conditioning too as well, with Coach AC. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We try to make it fun so the kids can really enjoy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be a little bit serious too because our goal is to build up our next top tier athletes, in the
Mm-hmm.
program. So if you're serious about training and would like to try it out for free, come check us out. We're gonna be here at Grindhouse Sports, 114 Regency Drive, Suite 130. It's going to be pretty cool. We had over, I want to say, about 60 or 70 some kids at our last event. So we would love to have you out and come out and participate. You can go to our website at grindhousesports.com, fill out the registration, get signed up, and let's go.
All right, and we're gonna be back after a word from our sponsors. We back. So
Hi, I'm Shane with Restore Hyper Wellness right here in Murphy, Texas. I'm proud to say we're partners with Grindhouse Sports Training just next door in Wiley. Now, Coach Washington over at Grindhouse Sports Training has done a phenomenal job at not just building out a business in the community, being a pillar in the community, but also being an inspiration to the young, talented kids that he trains each and every day. Now, last year, Coach Washington started a podcast, a Grindhouse podcast. The links are below. I encourage each and every one of you to go check this out, listen to it, like it, enjoy it. Coach Washington will walk you through his personal experiences, what motivates him, what made him what he is today, and why he's so effective at being a phenomenal leader to these young, talented individuals. Check out the podcast. We'll see you soon.
word from our sponsors. We back. So the draft. When you think about the draft personally, obviously it's twofold for you right now. You got yourself thinking about, all right, the draft process, what you should have did as a junior, what you did as a senior,
Mhm.
and then coming up, in the near future, your son
Yeah.
in the process. So tell me when you think about the draft process for yourself, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and what ended up happening. What do you think about?
Well, sometimes I think about the agents, right? So it's all about who you know, right, in sports world,
Mhm.
and the right people know the right people. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So as I was going through the draft, I decided to go a different route with an agent. Didn't really understand the whole concept. Didn't really have a lot of guidance on who
Mhm.
I should have signed with. And, you know, when you think about the processing of putting your life in somebody's hands, I didn't really look at it in that way. I just looked at, okay, I like him. He's cool. He sounds cool. Sounds like he knows what he's doing. And he did. I mean, he got guys in the NFL, you know, but at the end of the day, it was finding the right people that associate with you, but knew the right people. And I feel that's where I kind of went wrong, because I could have went with a big name and I didn't. I decided to go with somebody that was on a smaller level that was going to represent me. And that's what I learned through the process. Yeah.
That sometimes you gotta go with Nike instead of going with Puma.
Gotcha.
So
I'm telling you, it's that big of a deal. Like you may think that, okay, well, I got the ability, I got the skill set, and I was definitely confident in my ability to play. And when I got to the team that I played for, it wasn't that it was not my ability that had any factor in on the outcome of my situation. It was just a process of knowing about who knows who.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's, you can, but everybody's training at the same time. Most guys got, like we talked about last episode, most guys got trainers in all these skill positions. Also, some go to EXO, some go to, you know, these other programs that's out there to train. And in my world, I you remember Don Beebe? You remember? He was a receiver. He had a facility out in Virginia, Baltimore area, and I was out there training with him. And when I came back from Baltimore, I started training with my boy Darren Williams. And when I regretted because I didn't do the combine, I did the pro day at the school. And we had a lot of schools out there, the Texans, you know, Buffalo, most everybody was there. And when you're working out, man, it's not the fact that you're not working out on a high level. I did great. It's just the fact you're just understanding who.
It's the business side at that point.
It's the business side, yeah. And if you don't know business, then it's tough, because you need the right people in your circle to kind of help guide you in the right direction.
And I think that's the hardest part that people got to learn, is the business side. And that's why I want to do this episode. And this episode is not for the guys that's getting drafted, because we know there's some guys that are getting drafted and things like that. And I'm not saying that you hit this portion in your life, but this is for the kids who all they got is ball.
Right.
And so I want to talk about athletes hitting rock bottom.
Ooh.
And
that's deep though, man, because, you know, are we talking about after they don't get picked up?
We talking about after they don't get picked up, when they don't know where to turn. And everybody that's been in your corner saying when you was doing great and you're putting everything out there, and they are nowhere to be found, man. So when you hear that term, rock bottom, and I know we usually hear it, we talk about drugs.
Yeah, true that.
But when you hear it for an athlete hitting rock bottom, what do you think when you hear that?
What I'm feeling like when an athlete, when they say rock bottom, that means that everything that kid has worked so hard for, it's not an opportunity anymore. The people that he hung out with, or the people that she hung out with, or whatever that was there for them the whole time, all of a sudden they in this world alone, and they doing it all by themselves now, and trying to navigate and figure out the things or direction or where they want to do with their life, because they spent so much time playing the sport that they love. And when you play a sport and you fall in love with a sport, sometimes the outcome is not being able to do what you love doing, because God may have a different plan for you. Something may happen to a point where, you know, it just don't work out, or you may not get picked up. So when I hear rock bottom, man, I'm thinking that you in it's on your own, and you got to figure out how to navigate throughout this life, man, because most athletes that's played on a high level and all of a sudden it's done. Some drink themselves to death. Some start drugs. Some just spiral, right? And when you spiral out of control, man, you have no control of your outcome. And you hear about guys dying and things like that. Well, you can go.
Athlete suicide rate is higher than most people.
Yeah, you know, but the suicide rate is high because most of these athletes, that's all they knew. They didn't have a foundation. We talked about structure in sports before, and when you're looking at structure and surrounding cast members, it's going to help keep that individual sane keep them pushing, working harder, guiding them in the right direction. It's not just because the kid is having success, high school and college, and all of a sudden he's a meal ticket. I see a lot of parents, man. I train a lot of kids, and some of my parents, they come and they go. They're looking at their kid as a meal ticket, man. It's like, we're all grown, right? We all can work and find job and find a source of income. But when you got a kid, you know, in middle school or high school, and you're looking at this kid like he's going to get me out of my situation, you can't count on that, man.
No,
That's like a gamble. It's like going to the boat and putting everything on it, man. You're gambling on everything that potentially may not even work out in your favor, man. So rock bottom to me, man, meaning that parents and kids, and when a kid hits bottom, the parents looking at them like, man, what's wrong with you? You know, like, why? But they should never put their eggs in that basket. That's a deadly basket, because the resentment side of things, most people that spend money on a kid, they expect something back in return, which in reality, you're supposed to just do what you love. But that's your child. You do it because you love it.
And most time it ain't even the parent. Most time it's somebody else involved that's doing that,
Uncle,
man.
coach, anybody. It could be anybody.
So I'm gonna ask you about yourself here, because again, I'm going to not use my personal knowledge of knowing you, but just know that I know you had a point where it's like, what's next? What am I doing? Why not? You know, where you question, you know. So my question for you though, so did the success earlier in your career, because obviously, you know, the sacks and the all Big Tens and the championship, did that make the fall harder to process when it didn't pan out?
Oh man, I can say, I'll be honest with you. I think my last workout was with the Cowboys, right? And when I knew that it was coming to an end, it was dark, right? I went to a dark place. I didn't drink or anything like that, but I went to a dark place where you embarrassed, you upset. If you're a believer, you know, you're gonna be mad at God a little bit because you didn't get what you want. But, you know, one of the things my mom did say to me during that process, you know, when you're going through situations in life, if it's not meant for you, it's not meant for you. And it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, shoot, when I got cut from the Texans, bro, I cried like a freaking baby, bro. Like, because this is all I knew. This is what I hung my hat on to say, yeah, I'm gonna be able to do this for longevity. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a Pro Bowler. I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl. Like, those are on my goal sheet, like my long-term goal sheets for life. And when it don't pan out the way you want it to pan out, you know, most people some guys got to go see a psychiatrist behind it, because it has to be talked about. It has to be a clear understanding of why it didn't happen for you. It's not the fact that your ability, because you got, you know, every team with 253 guys in the draft, and, you know, free agents, and, you know, you go. I went to Houston, man, and it was 20 guys in the spot, like 20 guys on the left, 20 guys on the right. I beat a lot of those guys out. So no telling what happened to those guys that I beat out. But when you get to the nucleus of guys like Kali Wong and Jeff Posey and guys like that in those positions, and you're like, okay, I got a shot. I'm right behind those guys. So, and then when you get that final call, you know, we just call him the Reaper. He come to the meeting room and he meet with you.
Nothing you could do.
It's like, dang, I thought I made it. Like, you know, I know Aaron Glenn just spoke with me about, you know, signing the NFLPA slip, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, bro. Like, but then you get cut and you like walking down the hallway and life is just flashing in front of your eyes. This is what you've been doing your whole life. All of a sudden it comes to a halt. You got to have a surrounding cast around you, bro. That's deep. Because, I mean, you're going to go home. You're going to be by yourself. And you're going to think, like, why me? But at the end of the day, it's not about your ability to play. It's not about you know, you as the person. It's a business. And I think a lot of these young athletes have to understand that it's a business. At the end of the day, it's you are a body on its roster that could potentially be cut hours and hours. Like you can go out there and play, and then you can be going back to the locker room to go take a shower, and all of a sudden he's sitting at your locker, like, "Hey, coach want to talk to you."
Yeah.
That's how that life is, and you have to understand it's a business. And I didn't understand that because I put everything into it, and putting everything into a sport. If you, like I said, I ain't like education. I took advantage of my education and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
but that sport becomes your identity.
yeah,
It
sport,
becomes who
yeah,
you are.
yeah.
And a lot of times we talk about we ask people like what they do for a living or who they that sport is how you introduce yourself to people, is how people know you. And when that's taken away, it's who am I? What is my identity? Who were you after that?
Yeah, it was hard to find, man, because I didn't know. I mean, after I got released, I went into hiding for a while because I was like I said, I was embarrassed about not making it to the next level because shoot, man, if you look at the stats, you look at
we know numbers ain't always, but we always
bro, like you looking at the stats, bro. I was second in Big Ten in sacks. I was first.
You're supposed to be there.
Projected, third round draft pick. Get to draft day, brother. It's like, okay. At least they called me. Okay, well, we're not gonna sign you as a we're not gonna draft you, but we're gonna sign you as a free agent type deal. It's like, oh, okay. What you mean? I'm not good enough to be drafted? And then you get to camp and you see the guys that were drafted, and you're like, oh, how did they get drafted? And it's all about, like I said, it's connections and
that's the who you know at that
who
point.
you know at the point. So with me, it was like I was hurt, man. I was brokenhearted for a sport that I loved doing my whole entire life, and it was a while where I didn't even watch football.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I stopped watching football because it was like it was so hurtful to me to a point where I couldn't stand the fact to watch guys that I played with play or played against, and like they out there making plays because I knew I would have been one of those guys making plays too.
So do you think athletes are given enough space to be vulnerable after the fact, or they're just expected just to push through this?
Yeah, we're just expected to push through. It's no help out there. As you go through this process, even in college, just say you get a coach that just don't mess with you or just don't rock with you, right? It's no booklet on how to deal with a situation that you're going through in college or in pro, because it's like it's people out there that don't care about you. The only people that care about you is your parents, right? Your mom and your dad. That's real talk. And if they don't have anything vested in it, they
invest in some people. They don't care about you either.
Yeah, they just genuinely love you. They don't care about the situation. But as far as a booklet, having to understand the processes and mentally where you go through with this process, there's nothing out there that can prepare you for if that's your last game. Like I remember, I think it was Tampa Bay. We were playing in Tampa. Like I'm asking coach, I'm walking down the sideline, just continue to ask coach, like, hey coach, can I get in? Can I get in? Coach looked at me like I didn't exist. I was like, dang, like, what did I do? Like, and there's nothing that I did. It's a business, right? So then I go to the special team coach, I'm like, I'm gonna get on the field somehow. So I go to the special team coach. I say, coach, can I get in? I said, I'll make the first, I swear I'll make the play, coach. You ain't got to worry about it. Get in. We was in Tampa. I get in, I think it was a play inside the 20-yard line. I went down there, made the play inside the 20-yard line, excited about it because I knew coach didn't want to put me on the field on defense. So I go out there, I make the play. To put the defensive coordinator asking who made that play. And one of the guys said it was T-Wash that made that play, coach. And I just seen his face like he was disgusted that I was even on the field, man. And it was like, I gave it everything I had. At least I made a play at the end of my career, you know what I mean? Like, and I thought I'll get picked back up or whatever. But, once you get into that world of sports, man, and this is your identity, and you trying to create an identity outside the field, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I ran away from my identity. I try to hide from the Terrell Washington or the T-Rex or T-Wash. You know, I try to just be a normal dude, living a normal life, man. And a lot of my teammates and a lot of guys I hung out with, I didn't have the same access to them. You know, like you will have access to people. They were playing pro ball, so no telling what their agent was telling them, no telling what their parents were telling them. It was a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? So over time, it's tough, bro. It's a tough build because now all of a sudden we get older. Now we start communicating,
Come back around.
talking, and it was their lifestyle, man. And I wasn't in their lifestyle. I wasn't living the lifestyle that they were living.
Yeah.
You know, so
So
it's what it is, brother.
yeah. So what do you think was the first step toward rebuilding yourself after this? Though?
Finding your purpose.
Okay.
You know, once I found my purpose, that was the first stage of me rebuilding myself, right? Like I told you, I was always nervous about how to or what to do after the process. I was always scared to use my name, right? My boy Earl said to me, he said, "Man, why don't you just use your name?" Like, I'm like, "What do you mean use my name?" Like, my name to me wasn't as big to me, but to others it was big, right? And my mind, I was like, well, I want to do some camps. I want to do some stuff in the community. I want to start building a brand where I train kids and train athletes. And when I started off, man, I started off with 5 kids every single year. And that's it, because I was coaching. I was working in the school district. And I just didn't see myself the same because I didn't have those same spotlights on me. You know what I mean? And that's hard because, shoot, like I said, I was state champion in high school, Big Ten champion in college, and now I'm working for a special school district, you know, within months.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I think it was about a year. I'm working for a special school district, and I'm a TA trying to find my way through this journey in life. And you don't know, bro. Like, you just got to trust God's plan for you. And, you know, like I said, I've always been a believer. So it's like, okay, God, I know you won't leave me or forsake me. So I'm just going to trust in the direction you have set for me. I want you to guide me through this journey. So I would like to follow your steps in the direction that you have for me and where you want me to go. So that was what I did, man. And finding my identity was just trusting in God. And also, you know, just finding my passion and my love for kids and just trying to identify what my skills were. I mean, I was still in my 20s, which is good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was just like, okay, I don't know what God is doing with me. I don't know the direction, but I want to just fall in line and train these young athletes as much as I can to see how this go. And I never foreseen the stuff that I have now with Grindhouse or anything like that. We talked about it. Me and Drew Swihart talked about it. But shoot, we came up with the name like years ago, man. And I never foreseen all of this happening, man.
Yeah. So listen, cause now, like, yeah, cause I'm gonna skip over a few things, cause I feel like we can talk about this topic for a while. I told you it's just one of those topics. But it's like, so are you more intentional now about, one, telling your story to younger athletes, but 2, mentoring them to make sure that they know that even though we're training our bodies and we're training our minds, but you have to be more than an athlete?
Yeah, I'm intentionally doing that through training, but also I'm doing that through my mentorship programs that I do with the kids too. When I pull them to the side and we have we call it like just real conversation about life, right? Because at the end of the day, we're training our bodies. I train kids for sports, right? To be those top tier athletes, to be, you know, all district MVP, you know, all state, all American type stuff, right? So that's what I focus on as far as the training aspect. But the mental portion of it, what do we do if they get injured? What do we do if things don't go their way? And being able to coach a kid through those processes in life, and just getting them to understand that sometimes things are not going to go the way we want it to go,
Mm-hmm.
but adversity, that's what we call it, adversity, right? So understanding the adversity side of things, and understanding that, if you're determined to be great, determined to do things outside of what others are willing to do, then the outcome for you is a very high outcome that you'll just be successful. Not saying that you'll go pro, but I'm guaranteeing you that if you do everything that you can, you will get an opportunity to go to college and play college ball.
And going pro ain't always successful, y'all.
Nah.
Just make sure y'all know that. So
I know a lot of guys that went pro and
homeless. Yeah. So I'm gonna end it with this one. I think we're gonna come back to this topic here.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a lot more to this than we just, because it's a lot more things we can hit and things like that. But do you believe rock bottom is an ending or a reset?
Depends on who you are. I feel that if you're a weak-minded person, it's the end, because most people that end, they start drinking themselves away, and all of a sudden, 10 years, 15 years down the road, they're done, they're gone. If you're a strong-minded person, it's like, I'm gonna be great in whatever I do, whatever I touch. If I did it in college, I can do it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
If I made it to a university and got a free education, I can do all things, especially when God is my leader, my God and my source. Trust and believe that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So those are the things that I look at in life, where, it depends on that individual. If you feel like that's your rock bottom, that is it. But is it really your rock bottom, bro? Like, you got to look at it real clear. Is it your rock bottom? Because you can't get what you want.
Yeah. And kids, please, I know the kids that watch this is knowing that bad things will happen. You will have tough times, but tough people outlast those tough times. And there's gonna be times where you have to find people to talk to, and some of those people may not be the people that's in your house.
Right.
They may not be the people that birth you, people that have been there in your life. It may be a stranger who has the words that you need to help you get through. So
when you say bad times, like, I don't feel, in my mind, I don't look at rock bottom as bad time. It's something that you have to individually go through, right? So, like we talked about the real estate that I was dealing with, right? I didn't look at it as like the worst thing ever happened in my life, but it was one of the worst things that happened in my life. But if I focus more on the negative of the real estate, then, like I said, I wouldn't have had the things that I have now, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes when we say a rock bottom, or we say bad or evil, in my mind, it's not bad or evil. It's the decisions that we make sometimes in life that kind of give us that swing left or swing right, right? So it's like, if we stay on that path, that journey going forward, and we hit a speed bump, sometimes we have to look at life as we're hitting a speed bump. Okay, we played college ball, we went pro. All of a sudden, things didn't look right. Things didn't go right. Like, why is it not going right for me? It's not why is it not going right for you. It wasn't in your cards. It wasn't in that plan that you had for yourself. So to me, I don't think it's a bad or a negative, but I did go into a deep place back then when I was younger, because I couldn't identify the processes that I was going through.
But then that's all perspective too, though.
Right.
Because so if you think about, let's just say we grew up, you ain't had no water, and I'm mad I don't have no chocolate milk.
Right.
It's my perspective
Right.
of what bad
all,
looks
yeah.
like. And so you got cut. I never had the chance to get there.
Right.
And I may feel bad, I didn't get a chance to get to that point.
Right.
It's going to always be, that's the reason why I say bad time, because bad looks different for each person.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
And that's all. And that's all I'm saying. Like that bad looks different for each person, and I just want people who feel that what they're going through is bad, that you have people that you can talk to regardless, because
that's important.
Yeah,
it's very important to have people that you can talk to, because I've seen guys,
no yes men, please.
Commit themselves, like do horrible things to themselves because it was over with, and it's like, it's not that serious. It's a sport. It's a game, and people got to understand, on the other side of the game, it's a business. And if we all collectively come together and see that the things that we're doing and understand that sometimes things are not going to fall the way we want them to fall. But like we say, like when you're young, you like, I got a plan A to plan B, right? As you growing up, if football don't work, like what's your plan A? What's your plan B? And I had my mother-in-law really ask me that question back in the day, and I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm not gonna make it? You doubt me? You doubt what I want to do in my life?" And I, as a kid, I took it in a different way, but then as an adult, I'm like,
Should always be working at Plan B.
you should
Always be
you should
working.
always you shouldn't give up on yourself, right? Because I was in education for a while, so I see kids like, I don't need this education, it's not going to take me nowhere. And it's like, it's not the fact that the education is going to take you nowhere or you can't use the education, it's just the fact that you're there for structure.
Yeah.
You're there to learn. So take advantage of your learning processes so that when you are in a structured environment, that you can utilize that structured environment and learn how to work. You'd have been in McDonald's and been to Burger King and been through the drive-through, man, and you've seen unstructured, we all have, right?
Yeah.
But the concept behind it is like, our learning structure is going to help you become more of have your foundation, a structure. You'll be able to learn and live differently compared to being a 20-year-old and not understanding what to do or how to do things. And I feel like education in the school system is set up for young kids to learn, but I just don't think it's a more popular thing anymore. And it has to fall back into be popular where kids want to learn, kids want to do different things, because I feel like if it wasn't for my career in playing sports and me being able to play sports, if I didn't keep my grades up, kind of helped me become who I am now, which has created structure and balance and a clear understanding on what I want to do with my life and where I want to go. Yeah, I wanted to go pro. Yeah, I wanted to play years and years in the league, but at the same time,
You didn't know that this was who you were going to be back then when you were going through it. And that's the part there that people don't realize. You don't know until you go through it. So,
if you were dominant force, bro, check it out. You were dominant force. You knew you was the guy. And all of a sudden, you are not the guy anymore. That's hard.
It's a tough pill to swallow. So.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to hit this topic, man. Again, I told you it was going to be a little heavy. But I think for us as mentors, as men, as black men, we have to show our kids that it's more than one way to be successful.
Oh, no doubt.
And we have to have these conversations, too, in order to let them know that what you see now wasn't always what it was.
Exactly, man. So, I mean, I love the fact that we're able to share our stories with these young people that's watching, but also with the parents who's working with these younger athletes or have a really talented, skilled athlete in their home. They have to understand that it's all about just balance and structure for these young people, because you want him to go pro or her to go pro level sports or whatever, but at the same time you have to be understanding that sometimes things doesn't work out the way you want to work out. Now, I'm not saying go in there with a negative attitude or negative mindset. I'm saying that be understanding that anything can happen at any time, and be willing to pivot if you need to pivot.
Yep.
And don't allow your kid to go to school and not get an education. Don't allow your kid to be, that person in the classroom. Allow your kid to be smart, intelligent, and understanding that anything is possible. If the sport does happen, I'm good. If the sport doesn't happen, I'm good.
All right. We're going to leave it at that, y'all. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Appreciate you being vulnerable, man.
No problem at all, man. I love it, man. You coming with this.
I told you, because I told you going to catch you, man. All right, all right, man. We appreciate y'all for watching. See you later.
I grew up in a small town just north of DFW. We didn't have much money, but we did have plenty of freedom. My childhood was all about long bike rides, fishing trips with my dad, and endless adventures outdoors. Those days taught me independence, resourcefulness, and a real appreciation for life's simple pleasures. My passion for mechanics started early, thanks to my dad. There's this old photo of me as a toddler, in diapers, right under the hood of a car with him. He would hand me an old lawnmower and say, "Take it apart." And once I got it all apart, he would say, "Now put it back together." It It was never actually about fixing the mower. It was his way of teaching me patience, persistence, and problem solving. Those lessons stuck with me and shaped who I am today. My first real experience with golf carts happened when my dad started working at Heritage Ranch. One of my first times working on a cart, I vividly remember a job for Frank that went sideways and I made a big mess. Instead of getting upset, Frank just jumped in to help clean up. And that moment sparked a friendship that has lasted for 20 years. It showed me that golf carts are more than just vehicles. They're opportunities to connect and build lasting relationships. Moments like that are one of the reasons I started this business. I wanted to create a workplace where employees could genuinely be themselves, where integrity and honesty and a genuine care were at the heart of everything. Today, TrueRide isn't just about repairing or selling golf carts. It's about slowing down, genuinely connecting with customers, and creating meaningful relationships. It's about having the freedom to live our values instead of them just being a list on a wall somewhere. It's about making honest choices that put people before profits. And most importantly, it's the opportunity to build something with our families and have a real impact in our homes and in our communities. TrueRide is more than just a business, it's a mission. We're committed to mentoring youth, supporting families, and building a community rooted in honesty and compassion. At TrueRide Golf Carts, we believe it's not just about transportation, it's about transformation. I'm Matt Flynn, and this is TrueRide Golf Carts, built on honesty, driven by purpose.